eBay's photo editing tools and pictures with white backgrounds are two powerful ways that we can use to be able to get our listing seen by more potential buyers on eBay. In this video, I'm going to show you each feature that eBay has made available to us. And there's one feature that I don't think a lot of people know or not using yet that is a powerful way to get our listings raised in what we call the search results or eBay's algorithm. Not a lot of people know that the algorithm for eBay is also promoted on Google. So there's a certain thing that we can do to play nicely, so to say, with the computers. So we are rewarded with getting our listings seen by more potential buyers. So in this video, I'm going to show you each of those steps that we can apply to our listings today to hopefully get you sales right away. This is Michelle with Paladin Global Market. Let's begin. Hey guys, so we're in my eBay account and I'm going to show you our eBay's photo editing tools and also the secret tool that I talked about that not a lot of sellers are using. I literally used it last night on this exact item and it already sold. So it kind of is proving my point that this is a feature that we want to start considering as sellers to start putting into our listings. But first of all, let's go over eBay's photo editing tools. And to be able to do this, I need my glasses. Sorry, guys. You're going to see your reflection, but I can't see without it. Okay, so here we go. So we have this item here. Let's say that we've uploaded our pictures to our eBay listing and we pop them in there. Now let's go through these editing tools. So what you'll want to do is you'll click on this. I recommend whenever you're editing pictures, whether you've taken those pictures through your cell phone or not, do the editing on your laptop or desktop device if you have that available to you. I find that it has a lot more features available and it's not so touchy, so to say. Now, one thing, and I explain this a little bit more in some of my other videos, but eBay's mobile app is the only way that you can use their computer white background feature. They do not have that feature available through desktop. So that's just a side note. But regardless, I still recommend doing your editing from your computer if you have that option. So I'm in my computer right now, and you see we have these different tools down here on this picture. Now I do take I take my pictures on a white backdrop, and I recommend that for you as well. It can be a sheet. It can be a poster board. I would probably recommend getting a matte poster board. If you've been selling for some length of time, you know for sure you're enjoying it and you want to invest in your business, buy new tools. I recommend there's this photo paper that I use now, which is fantastic, but you don't need this to start off with. I'm a full-time reseller. This is my business, my bread and butter. So investing in it was a smart idea for me, but it's something I used a sheet for many, many years, and you can as well. But I'll link that photo backdrop paper below. And I do have another link that I can share with you later in the video where I have like a special kit put together if that's something you're interested in. But regardless, so back to this. So we have our photo editing here. And when we have this picture here, I've already uploaded with a white backdrop. Now, the picture that you see here, I have already played with it a little bit. For some reason, whenever I upload pictures, even with my setup, I have lots of lights. I angle things properly. I was a wedding photographer for several years, so I feel like I know a little bit more than the average regarding lighting and all that good stuff. But even still, with everything that I do, I still edit my pictures when I upload it into eBay. I just find that it enhances it a bit and it helps to make it more appealing by more potential buyers, which essentially will hopefully get you more sales as a result. So when I upload these pictures, I go in here. Now this first feature here we see is called rotate. So that is simply if we want to, and we took a picture sideways and we want to rotate it, we will just keep clicking this button until it's in the position that we want. The next tool, which is the tool that I use the most when I'm uploading pictures, is this brightening tool. It shows brightness and contrast. So we'll click on this little sun here. Now on this one, you want to be careful whenever you are messing with the features in your pictures, that you don't distort the colors. So if, let's say, you're selling a shirt and it's pink and you adjust these filters too much one way or the other and it makes your shirt look orange, then that could mislead the buyer. And then when the buyer receives the shirt, they give you a negative feedback as a result because it doesn't look like it did in the picture. So just be careful when you're doing your edits that you're keeping the item, you're just enhancing it, but you're keeping it true to form as to what the color of the item is. So the buyer is pleased when they get the item. So we see here, I go in here, if I adjusted this, I usually just adjust it up a little bit. Look what it's doing on that background. Even though I took it on a white background, it's taking out any type of shadows or darkness that are on there. It takes it out. Now, if you made it where you took your pictures and they're too bright, then you can also back it down just a little bit. Typically, that's not going to be the case. Most of the time, you're always going to want to brighten it. So I will do that. That I do pretty much on all of my pictures. And then the next thing, which I use on most of my pictures, especially if I'm trying to make the words crisper, like this one, it's a pro pointer. If I want to make them even crisper and clearer, then I'm going to take this little one here, click it, and I'm going to drag it, and you're going to see it's going to make the word, see how it brings the word pro pointer? It just makes it sharper. Now, of course, if you go too far, then it kind of distorts it. So I usually do just a little bit. So like about 20 here, you see, and it starts at 0. Just bring it to about 20 here, makes it a little bit sharper. And then from here, you can hit save, or if you're going to continue with the edits on this particular picture, you can hit save at the very end. But just to be careful, let's just hit save. Okay, now the next thing is cropping. Now that was one thing I learned as a photographer. One of the first things I learned as a wedding photographer is I usually try to do most of my cropping, so to say. And what that is how close you are to the item. And you see here where it has all this white space around it, how it's kind of pretty much even. When I take my picture, I'm trying to angle it in such a way that I don't have a lot of white excess on the outside. I want the item to be front and center and centered in the middle of the picture. So you can do that when you're doing your pictures, but then you can also use this feature here, which is the crop, where we can go in. If I click that button there with the 2 arrows in the square, you can either drag it from the corner, which you do that, it's going to bring it in. You see that? So the areas that are gray, once I hit save, it will get rid of those areas and it will just keep the part that's in the white. Now I can also go over here and do the same thing and make it smaller. And so if I pulled it just to the right, you see where it doesn't touch anything on the bottom here. And if I pull it just up, it won't touch anything on the side if I'm not adjusting it there. But what you can do is if you're starting at any of the corners, if you hit the corner, and sometimes it's kind of touchy, but you just find it, if you drag it kind of at a diagonal with your mouse, then it's going to take both of them evenly in. So we've done that. So now we see we have this much space between the box and the edge of the white, and we have a little bit more space on this side. So I always like to go to the opposite end, click, and then drag it down a little bit to make that kind of even. So you see that? Don't spend too much time on this feature. A lot of the times, the more you do this, you'll be able to just do this when you're taking your pictures. But for now, for this example, you see that, and you see all this gray area. Now, when I hit save, it's actually going to make the item appear bigger, which is great, and get rid of the excess white. So there we go. It took care of all those extra edges, which makes it look even bigger. Now, the next thing here, as we hover over this triangle, is called Sharpness. This is another thing we can do to help make this picture a little more crisper. And you see here, you don't want to go too far. One thing I have found within eBay is you don't ever want to go probably pass over the 50-ish mark and higher, because even though it looks like it's going to save, when I go to save it here, let's see if it'll do this. It will give us an error inside the program. So let's see. So I have made this 100. I hit save. Let's see if it'll do it for the sake of example. I'm going to hit done. Nope, it didn't. What I have seen it do in the past is when I save it and I get out of it, then like this little red error feature will come up and it won't save my picture because it's distorted it too much from its original feature. So just be careful with that. All right, so literally once I've gone through these, then the last one we have here, which I pretty much never use. This is frame your item. So this is another way that we can go and play with the different things, the settings. I really wouldn't mess with this. The big thing with being a reseller is to make money, you have to list more items. And I mean, there's other things to it as well, right? We're wanting to make sure we're having a bigger profit margin and we're sourcing the right items. But for the sake of this point, the way we make more money once we have all of our other systems in place is by listing more items. The way we list more items is to streamline our systems and to make sure that we're wash, rinse, repeat. We're doing the same thing over and over at the most maximum ability possible. So I always like to try to identify things that are dragging down the system, so to say, that are slowing me down, that really aren't going to move the needles as an end result. So for instance, the framing part, that's usually something that I don't see is going to make or break a deal for me if I list an item. But if I take too long fiddling with too many things, then I'm not going to get as many items listed. Therefore, I'm not going to get as many sales. I'm not going to make as much money and so on. So just try to pick and choose which one of these will help for you. Taking your pictures in a bright area, I have a special gift for you, completely free, no strings attached. It's 100% off coupon code that I have in the link in the description below. But there are things that you can do when you're taking your pictures using natural light, making sure I use a ring light, which I find very beneficial. I have a lot of other lights, but you don't need all of that. You can find a good window at the right time of the day, have natural soft light coming in, your white background, and so on. I go into more of this in the course that's available to you. But back to the features here. So once we've gone through and we've edited this one picture, then we can go on and literally, we don't have to click out of this since you want to make sure that you upload a certain number of pictures per listing. That helps on the algorithm. I go over that more in that course as well. But you can just go in here and hit this arrow. Once you hit the arrow, then it comes up to your next picture, because I have my little secret weapon to go over with you as well. Okay, so here we have this next picture here. See how it's a little dark in the area? But don't spend too much time on this. We want to be wash, rinse, repeat, quick, and on to the next item. You get the gist of those tools for eBay's photo editing tools. Using a white background is extremely important for the algorithm, for getting your listings rewarded, so to say, so that eBay puts your listing up higher in the search results than somebody else's. So like, for instance, on Google, eBay advertises on Google for us, which is just fantastic. So when someone goes on and searches for Garrett Pro Pointer, it's a diverse thing for finding metal, a metal detector underwater. Someone goes and searches that, eBay actually pays ads where my eBay listing could be seen in the search results on the first page of Google, which is just phenomenal. But having white backgrounds is a way that they reward you for that because it's friendly with Google search results. So all that being said, if you can, definitely use a white background. Okay, so when we hit done here, now, for the next thing that I promised, my secret weapon, my tool, so to say. This is something that eBay released recently, and not a lot of sellers have taken advantage of it. And I can say for myself, my own personal results, when I use it, my items sold before the next day. It sold so quickly. So I think, this is just my opinion, but I think that eBay is rewarding listings that are using this new feature. I've seen this time and time again, like with Facebook and TikTok and Instagram. Whenever these different platforms release new features, they reward you for using their new features because they want you to start using these different functions. Well, eBay is the same, and using this feature is really going to help you as well. Now, side note, please don't spend too much time on this though. If this is really going to bog you down, and what I'm going to reveal to you next, if it's going to slow you down in a way where it's just going to frustrate you, or instead of getting 5 listings up a day, you can maybe get 2 or 3 because it's taking too much time, then maybe don't do this, or maybe only do this on items where this feature is really going to help you. Now you're probably like, Michelle, what is it? What are you talking about? I will tell you. Video. eBay now has offered video as an option for our listings, which I think is fantastic, especially when we have items that have electronics or they have something where we can show that this item is working. And that's exactly what I did with this item. This is a sonar, like a metal detector. And I wanted to show that this item, although it was used, is still working. So I put the battery in it, and then I show in the video, and I'm going to play it for you here. I show the scratch you see on the end there. Up close, they can see the comparison to my hand. See, I showed that it powers on. Now it's going to get loud. It's picking up the metal in my ring, I guess, or my foam. And that's it. So that item sold. I had an offer on it probably within the first hour after listing it, and I had it priced high on the higher scale, and it sold this morning as well. So eBay video is a powerful tool that we can use to make sure we're maximizing all the features that eBay has to offer. I do have to say, doing that, whenever I try to do it on my mobile app, at least when I was trying last night, it did not offer video. Let me see if it's going to, if it was just a glitch or if it's going to let me do that as well. But it did not let me add a video just from my cell phone. So what I did is I recorded a video on my cell phone, not into eBay, just recording a regular video, like if I was taking it of my dog or something like that. Recorded the video. Then I saved it, and I personally uploaded it to my Google Drive. If you have a Gmail account with Google, they offer a free cloud-based way where you can upload your information to the cloud. I sent it to my Google Drive, and then it was on my computer. I was able to download it into my eBay listing. So this is why I say, if this is going to take too much time for you, probably don't do this, or maybe only use it on items where you need to show that it is actually working, like I did here, which again made it sell very quickly as a result. If you have something to display, show its power, you want to be able to show it has a unique feature and you want to hold it and twist it, do short videos. You don't want to do too long. As you see here, this video was only 23 seconds, but just do that video on your phone, upload it somehow or email it to yourself. Again, you don't want this video to be too long, so you want to make sure that it can be emailed or uploaded to your Google Drive. And then from there, you can pull it into your eBay listing through your computer. So this is just one way that you can do it. I would love to hear from you. You guys have any comments you can leave for me on another way that you think may be faster to upload that video to our eBay account? I'd love to hear from you, please. Make sure you redeem your coupon, your free course for the Photography Like a Paladin Pro. One of the most requested questions that I get asked on my channel is through eBay photo tips and different things that can help optimize your listings. You'll want to make sure to check out this video where I go over how to upload your pictures in such a faster way through your eBay mobile app, step by step, the unique system that I have applied to my business that has saved me so much time when I'm uploading my pictures to my listings. Also, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified every time I upload new content. I try to upload videos every week. And if you've enjoyed this content, please give it a like, share me some love. It also tells YouTube that I'm doing a great job and will continue to share this video with more people. If you know someone that can benefit from this, make sure you share the link as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Happy reselling.